Hello and welcome to a very different kind of video with some Galaxy Light vibes. One part because it's a different kind of video, so different vibes, and one part because my eyes are a little bit light sensitive. So this video is going to be a lot about grief, personally and abstractly, because I realize I have not mentioned much on YouTube despite mentioning more on Discord. If that is not your thing, that is valid. The too long do not read, or didn't read, would be, life's a roller coaster. Hope to return to some form of semi-regularly scheduled content in the near future, but if that doesn't pan out, / is a bit bumpier than I'd like it to be, well, you know why. You know the context. That's all good. Have fun. Bye-bye. And for the whole rambliness, personal and abstract grief. So as you may know, if you're from the Discord or socialize with me on the internet more, so today, at least as recording this, because at this point I don't think I'm getting this up before midnight, the 20th of July would be my dad's birthday, and tomorrow, the 21st of July, will be 7 months since he died, which is really weird and still does not sound like a real thing. I will not go extremely into the nitty-gritty, but the short of it being cancer fucking sucks. And it was completely bullshit and very unexpected and very fast. Like, less than a month fast. So yeah, a lot to unpack there if you're a person that was there. And this is one part I kind of don't feel like grief is talked about enough, especially after the whole initial, structured part of, funerals and people checking in on you lots. Not that I ever want to imply people do not check in. There's some very wonderful people who do check in and, think of you on special days and whatnot. I'm not trying to say nobody does anything, but I just feel like, I don't know, as a society-wide thing, there's the organized part, and then it's yeah, well, good luck. Which doesn't really help when you're wired like me, where it's no, I must be doing wonderful and happy, and other people have problems. Have to remind myself, or be reminded that, still technically early days and all that. The first year is just going to be rough in a general. I am nearly through all of the firsts event-wise, though. There's only really, the anniversary, and then, technically we've had first Christmas, but I also don't think that counts because it was far too close. So I'm counting this coming Christmas as the first normal Christmas, without. But yeah, so grief's fucking weird. And you know how people say there's sort of a different person after, there's a before and an after? And I still don't feel like I can articulate the why in that, or the what's actually different. Obviously I know the event that is the difference, but I both feel like a different person and both feel largely the same, and it's just weird. And I don't know if it's one of those things that's just a thing that makes more sense once you are a person who's experienced that. A bit okay, I thought, I've lost a few people in sudden ways, to the point where my brain is slightly convinced that every odd number year is going to be bad. Not in a pity party way, but just in my brain is doing the pattern findy way, and that's fun. The pattern has been broken, though, We had the first non-sudden actual old age death. I say the first, but the first in, this sequence, this year, which sucks, but is also, as the, counselor, therapist person I spoke to with the whole grief thing said, there you go, pattern broken. My brain's a little bit does that just mean every year? I logically know none of this matters. It's all coincidences, but at the same time, brains are gonna pattern hunt. I don't know. Just saying, if you too have also fell into morbid pattern searching, It's okay. It happens, apparently. But yeah, the point of that was other sudden losses is like, I'm gonna be a pro, this is gonna be fine. Immediate family hits different and it's weird and I don't like it, oddly enough. And I mean, not to say I didn't have roller coaster emotions before, but it's something else. The like ping pong between being kind of okay and the not being okay, and then the anger, and I feel like, you know, they say like you might get angry at the person or you might get angry at, like, say if it was a disease or this and that. And I mean, okay, yes, I'm kind of angry at the disease. If I could put on boxing gloves and like knock cancer's lights out, I would. But and then I don't have like any particular afterlife beliefs. I'm not particularly religious. I'm very, very casual, vague, agnostic. It could be anything, you know. Every religion could be right, or there could be a couple of giggling unicorns in a corner of the universe. I don't know. But that kind of leads into the whole like religious aspect, like where it's some kind of mercy or whatever that, you know, somebody dies, and it's like, how's that meant to be in any way comforting? That just sounds like a slap in the face, and that has caused a bunch of anger. All I'm saying is, if you know Parkway Drive's song Wishing Wells, that's kind of been a vibe for me. But I guess which is the circle of emotions and things. It also has kind of, I don't know, shaped my attitude to things. I find myself, I don't know if I just didn't care before or just didn't know I cared, but I'm like way more attached to like family furniture. Like my dad's bookcase, or like my grandparents' little bits and pieces that are still around. Or like I have a locket with photos in it now, which, okay, I mean, I never had like, it's not like I was against that as an idea, like the locket, but it's also just, I don't know, I never expected to have one and be like, yes, this is something I want and like to have. You want to just make awkward eye contact for like 5 minutes? No, we don't do eye contact here. What are you talking about? I'm just gonna laugh in the, well, grief is like a thing and a roller coaster and emotions. I'm like, everything that I took a break off before this happened is like not necessarily not there. It just feels a lot smaller now. So that's, you know, a thing. Some of it's not there as much though, so it's okay. But yeah, attitudes and grief. So I ping pong between being like nothing matters in a like unmotivated sense, like what's the point trying to do anything? You could just die tomorrow and nothing will be done. Like, but that is actually not the prominent one, luckily. There's also the nothing matters, so hey, why stress? You're gonna get done what you're gonna get done, and you're not gonna get done what you're not. If, like, you might finish your projects, you might not. There's no guarantees, so why stress about it all? Take that day to sleep. Take that day to work on things. None of it really matters. But, like, neutral good kind of vibe. And then there's the other part where it's like, life's short. Do all the things. Which is somewhat good. I think I've seen family more in the after. Partially from just family reaching out at, like, holiday times and stuff. So, like, me and my mom are not, like, feeling alone. And then also in the all in-betweens, just, you know, visiting more and stuff. Which is nice. It'd be a lot nicer if there wasn't that catalyst for it. But as a thing, it's nice. And I suppose it makes you a bit more thoughtful about a lot of things. Like, I think about things, like I said, like I thought about grandparents and stuff, and all the little stories that, like, people can tell about, like, you know, your older relatives and stuff. And it's kind of weird because it's these little snippets that sort of seem like the essence of humans. But once the few people that immediately know them are gone, like, that's it. It all just dies off. Which is one part where I kind of want to do a video because it feels both like I'm expressing myself into the void, and also if anyone else is a bit of a confused mess with grief and stuff, it's like, it's okay. The anger, the confusion, the feeling weird about things, it's all valid. And then also in a he existed way. And this is proof that he existed, if indirectly. I don't know. Does that make some sort of sense? It's kind of... It's in the same way where I sort of know it, but I can't fully articulate the reasoning yet. In the same way that you'll know when it comes out eventually. The first gameplay I've recorded in 2024, I specifically state is like the first one in 2024, and how everything else, the like X number before that was 2023 backlog. And it's not that it matters, it's just a gaming video. It doesn't have a timestamp, but I feel like the distinction between like me being a different person in some ways, even though I can't fully articulate that, is enough that I feel like I have to say that. And that's another thing where I'm like, I only really realized why I felt the need to say that tied into me feeling like a different person in some unarticulable way. Like, I only figured that out like today. I was like, oh, that's why I really felt I had to do that. So basically, I'm still figuring a lot of shit out. And I guess I just wanted to mark his birthday a little on the internet, even if I had some ideas of like bigger things, more meaningful and objectively beneficial things. But I don't think I'm in the place to really do them justice, so maybe next year. I do have to share, though, this is a bit of a story of after, but you know, people say there's like signs and coincidences, and I don't know, people like feathers and stuff. And for the most part, I'm just like, coincidence. Like, some of it's a nice idea, but coincidence. Like, there's a few little things that are that, but more coincidence. But this one I struggle to ignore. So this little guy. This little guy is one of those little Beanie Boos. My best friend found him in a shop and got him for me on the day my dad died. Like, we knew, it was after the fact, she was aware. And it's like a string of coincidences, like her car broke down and she walked to the shops, and she happened to be passing the specific shop whenever another friend messaged, like, asking about what way, like, things were, like, with the death and all that. And only because she stopped and read that message and then saw a toy shop and then thought, gee, I wonder if there's any little dogs, and that's what made her go in. But right, he's a little German Shepherd. My dad, very, very into German Shepherds, big German Shepherd guy. I put a little plastic German Shepherd on his grave for his birthday, like, German Shepherd guy. So it's a German Shepherd. Its birth date, like the date, is my birthday. It's called Spirit, just for a little bit of, you know, spooky vibe. And on the receipt, the guy that, like, was on the till had the same name as my dad. Which is like, I'm sorry, but how many coincidences are allowed to just stack up like that? Because that is not okay. So, I've been very attached to that little guy. Thanks, friend. I guess in a kind of related, unrelated, abstract way, like, I think a lot more about death as a concept and more like in the unpredictableness of it. Because so many people go way before their time, and others, like, live so much longer. Not to say that they're, like, overliving, because obviously you don't know. There's no specific timestamp. But, like, I think about how, like my granny is dead, like, 15 years. And her cousin, that was, like, 2 years younger than her, died this year. And I'm sure that cousin never would have thought they'd have outlived her by that much. And it's just, you know, little things like, you know, what is time? What, like, I mean, yes, I'm sure a lot of it is, like, random genetic factors and then health factors and this, that. But it feels like this mystical, unknown time constraint that no one can ever understand or measure. I don't know. That's just kind of rambly, blah, blah, blah. But that is a thought. So yeah. I'm doing surprisingly good today. Like, as I am told by those I know that have had similar experiences. It's kind of the anticipation of, like, the big dates and anniversaries and whatnot rather than the actual days themselves that is the worst part. And I know a lot of people say, like, it doesn't stop getting shit, you just get better at dealing with it being shit, which I can believe. But yeah, I don't really have a point or a finish point. As a human, I ping-pong between very fiercely wanting to scream at all the people I'm close to how wonderful and loved they are and show them that, and also wanting to fiercely attack my goals, and then also being like, what does anything matter? What is life but waiting on death, both for yourself and others? That's on a bad day. That's on a particularly bad day, though. And also, I mean, kind of true in the sense of time is constantly passing, but it's not, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff mixed in before that. I'm trying to do more of the, be social, do the fun things. I changed, like, my work. I work different hours now, which kind of will affect me trying to get into a new content pattern in a little way, but is a very, like, I value my time. I've always valued my time more than most things anyway, because, I mean, who doesn't? I'm just stubborn about, well, keeping that a priority. But I'm, like, particularly now, I'm like, no, because I don't know how much time I have, and I'd rather know I spent it doing things I enjoyed than just, I don't know. I've never been, like, a job-oriented person, like, in the sense of, like, some people live to work and some people work to live. If that phrase has any truth, I'm very much a work to live. And I, like, reduced hours because, well, a lot of things related to the state of my mental health before all this, and now in the after. Like I said, I don't know how much time is out there. I'd rather have more time doing more things rather than being all stressy, then tired, and then doing nothing. I don't think that makes a lot of sense. I feel like a vague Facebook status now. Doesn't really matter. I'm rambling. I'm just trying to be more conscious in my priorities and goals, and I will hopefully figure shit out as I go, because I really need to let go of the perfectionistic idea of trying to figure everything out all in one go and having it perfect. It's like with content, I'm like, I know I could probably start posting the 2023 backlog, but there's a perfectionist part of me that wants to, like, because there's 2 videos that still need edited, but there's something like 8 that are ready to go, and I'm like, I could just do that. Edit the others, be fine. But part of me's like, no, you have to be perfect and have them all done. So it's little things like that. But yeah, I'm around. That's the context. I'm not gonna pressure myself into, setting a timestamp for when I try to be more scheduley. But I'm gonna try to be more scheduley. But if it happens, it happens, and if it does, it doesn't. Because, well, the algorithm doesn't mean a lot to me right now. I'm just out here having fun. Well, that it will be the plan when I'm doing the things. I'll be out here having fun and focusing on other projects as well. And I will get there. And I will hopefully try to be more patient about it all. I will get there with my hobbies and my goals and my this and my that. Now, all of you go hug a nice little plushie. And if you don't have a plushie, that's your problem. But I'm going to stop rambling at you. If you made it to this point, well, tell me how cute the dog is in the comments. And I hope you're all having better times. I'm just thinking the Animal Crossing quote from, like, Katrina, like, bad times are just times that are bad. It's true, though. It's true. even though it's an understatement for some of the times. But anyway, the fun thing about time is it passes, good or bad. So yes, goodbye, adios. I'm sorry for enforcing my ramble on you, but you chose to listen. And I will see you with some beautiful horror content at a point. And so many sim builds on my other channel, but shh.